What's up guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon video. I almost said X and Y then, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, today we are going to be looking at the Ultra Beasts once again and deciding sort of what types, because we know their Pokemon now, okay? We know they're catchable, we know we're probably going to be able to use them in battle, so what types will they be? This is assuming that there won't be a special Ultra Beast type. We assume, as well, it's found in the data mines that there's no extra type, which means the Ultra Beast surely must have some form of Pokemon typing, otherwise it's going to break the game. So we're going to be looking through the 3 Ultra Beasts we know and all the others. So of course, if you don't want data mine sort of leak information, you might want to click off the video now. But we're looking through and sort of picking out what types I could see happening, and obviously feel free to let me know if you think of any others yourself, in the comments, whatever. So I'm going to quickly go over the first 3 because I have done a video on this before. But first up, UBO 1, we have some possibilities that I threw out there was Water, Ghost, Fairy, Psychic. Water because it's like a jellyfish, Ghost and Fairy, and also Psychic as well because it's floating in the air. It's a very flowy Pokemon, I suppose you could say. So any of those I feel could fit. Ghost, it's got this sort of like light blue colouring as well, so I feel like that would work pretty well there. Just my opinion though. Then we had UBO 2 Absorption. A bug fighting type would be the exact type I choose for this, but I've also highlighted here Steel because it's long proboscis, which could definitely be a Steel type, as well as the other sort of like silvery colours over its muscles and body. Or Fire. I know a lot of people like to say a Fire type for Absorption. I can't see it personally because they're red muscles. They're not fire inside him or her, I suppose you could say. But that's what I thought I'd pointed out. And then we have UBO2 Beauty as well. Some types I would see there for her. I'm guessing this one's a her. Bug, Fairy, and Psychic are 3 we pointed out. Bug is based off like a silverfish and such. Fairy, because it's a very fairy-like design, I suppose you could say, and Psychic because of this, another possibility similar to the fairy typing. But now we have the other ones to look at, so we can take a bit more time. The first one is this Ultra Beast here, which of course, if you haven't watched my more human Ultra Beast video, it's probably based off of Guzma. Looking at its design, I've picked out 2 types I could see. I could see it basically be a combination of these types, and those are Dark as well as Electric. Dark because it has basically, it's black coloured, so it would make a lot of sense I suppose, and Electric because it seems to be based off of electrical cables, because you see the its arms and legs are made up of 3 or 4 different cables and such, and the end of them you have sort of like plug-like sockets and sort of splayed-like hands with orangey, wire-like ends. So a Dark Electric type would be almost a perfect type I could see for this Ultra Beast here. I feel like that would work almost perfectly. In terms of what other types I could see, obviously the black is Dark, the orange is Electric, the white, maybe normal, I don't know. But that's just what I thought there. I could see that happening pretty well. Then next up we have this weird one, sort of like the green Totemi Ultra Beast, I suppose you could call it. Who knows what it's called? But I've picked out 3 possible types for these. For this one, rather. The first is Ghost, mainly because it's based on, or it seems based on some form of like almost, well, has like bamboo traits to it in terms of the arms, but the main body seems like some sort of totem, or like a vase or a vase, I suppose you could say, a vase, and that relates sort of like ghost-like. You could see it in like a graveyard sort of thing, I suppose. But I've also listed Psychic as well, because of course these bamboo-like arms are sort of moving around, so Psychic I suppose would make sense in that aspect. And the last type I'd pick out here as well is Steel, because I feel like it could be made of steel. It could be like a steel vase with bamboo and steel arms sort of thing, or possibly I suppose you could work grass into here if you really wanted to. I just can't see it happening personally, but Ghost, Psychic, Steel, those sort of combinations there I feel like would work pretty well for this Ultra Beast. Again, just my opinion there, so if you have any other ideas yourself, let me know down below. Then, moving on, we have this smaller Ultra Beast, which is commonly known as the Origami Ultra Beast, I suppose you could see, because its legs at least seem to be folded paper. So this is the one Ultra Beast I could see being a normal type, because it's mainly white. We also have some yellow in here, and then some like orange. Generally yellow and orange. Yeah, okay, it could be like electric and fire, but in a combination like this, I could see it being normal almost. But other ones I mentioned, as I said, I see here Electric because it's coloured yellow, so I suppose it could have some electric traits there. Fire, probably not. Yes, it has some orange colouring, but probably not, guys. And then the final type I mentioned is Steel. Reason for that being because its arms, Yes, okay, it could be made out of paper, but of course Ultra Beasts are threatening the world, so it's not going to be as hard as paper, it's probably going to be harder. So steel I could see being like, you know, steel plated arms, and also, yeah, as well as it looking like origami, you could see it as like a steel plated body. So those are just some ideas for that Ultra Beast. Then we have the penultimate Ultra Beast, which is the largest of the lot. It's this weird, ghostly bulge of crabs. I don't know what you would call it, or what you refer to it as, but I've got 4 types picked out for this. The first is dark, mainly because of the dark colouring used on it. You know, we have the dark blue. Its claws have basically, they're just black inside, so you can't be. It looks like a very menacing Pokemon, evil Pokemon, I guess, or evil Ultra Beast, I guess you could say. Hence, the dark type is pretty much the evil type. Another one I'm mentioning also is the dragon type. This is the only Ultra Beast I could see being a dragon type, or a part dragon type. Not because it necessarily looks like a dragon, but because of how menacing it looks and how beastly it looks. I suppose the 2 claws, you know, at its front as well as its huge mouth, they just scream dragon, but they could be linked into dragon-like effects. So that's one possibility there. Poison is another one I'm listing here too, because while it doesn't look necessarily poisonous, it does have these barbs on it over its skin, and it looks menacing. So poison, I feel like, you know, it's a poison. It's more likely for this one to be poison than the other ones, for example. And the final I'm listing here is Ghost again, simply because it looks sort of like you could fit the Ghost type in. If it's like, you know, Dark Ghost, it would fit, sort of thing. Ultra Beasts are actually really hard to choose types for, in my opinion, but yeah, this is ones I've picked out there in sort of what combination, I don't know. Maybe Dark Dragon, but then again we have a few Dark Dragons, so maybe like Poison Dragon, maybe, who knows exactly. But let's also take a quick look at the last Ultra Beast, which is this really weird one. In terms of what types I could see it happening, I've only got 2 listed, and I feel like the combination of these 2 would be pretty good, and that is Dark Steel. Dark because obviously it's pretty much black overall, and steel because, you know, looking at its arms, it has bulky sort of wrists where, you know, it's made like of onyx or jewels of some sort, and then off the end these, you know, wrists you have almost like crystal-like extensions, but they could be steel, you know, because obviously we don't really have a crystal type, or well, we have a fairy type but not a crystal type or a light type. I feel like dark and steel would work pretty well, because you can tell its body is pretty much plated in steel, in like a dark steel, so dark steel would work pretty well there, in my opinion, of course. So feel free to let me know what you think down below, because of course I'm sure you've got many different opinions to me. So if you have any other ideas or any of the typings, let me know too. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So if you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button. But for now, this is going to be everything for today, so I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.